There's something undeniably satisfying about being the metal mountain that rolls across the map, and in Battlefield 6 Open Beta, finally, let's get behind the wheel. Today we are diving deep into the tanks and how they handle, how they feel, what's fun, what needs to be fixed before launch. If you like the tank gameplay, stick around because there's going to be a lot to love, and a few things that need work. If you missed it, the beta will be available in 2 open weekend windows. That includes the big vehicle focused mode like Conquest, where tanks are supposed to shine alongside jets and helicopters. It's been one of the most played betas this summer, with a massive player counts during the test weekends. I think when I tried to get into Battlefield this weekend, I think I was in a queue of 72,000. So yeah, just to give you that sort of heads up, that's sort of the queues you're looking at. It didn't take me very long to get into the queues, out the queues, but 72,000, I was kind of shocked. You're not gonna lie. So, are tanks the king of the maps in Battlefield 6? Short version is sometimes long version. They feel great in a lot of ways, but there is balance problems that make them very fragile at times. So when you climb into a tank in this beta, your immediate impression is the weight. Turning the hull has a satisfying delay. It feels like you are piloting a heavy machine, not an arcade cart. The steering is deliberate. The throttle response gives you that power versus mass sensation. The gun feels meaty in the first person view. The reload animations, the recoil punch, the tiny sway when you are tracking to a target, all of that sells the fantasy of driving a tank, right? The audio design helps a lot. Engines growl, tracks clank, and the persuasive thud of the main cannon makes every shot feel consequential. Visually, feedback is also strong. Shell impacts create convincing explosions, and shelling gives a world a lived-in feel, right? When it becomes genuinely fun is the interplay with the map, right? Flanking a flag, using cover but buildings to hide behind from aircrafts, or bailing out when you've had your team push in for a while to provide support, right? When tanks and infantry coordinate, the experience sings. It's a classic Battlefield chaos in its best way. Mechanically, tanks are straightforward. Main gun burst damage, machine gun for anti-infantry, and usually a few gadgets to repair or anti-missile defenses on the loadout. Some players noted that aiming sensitivity in the first-person vehicle can feel very different from infantry aiming. It's slow by design, but turning might need precision engagements. The beta lets you experiment with different gun sights and stabilizations. Choosing the right kit makes a real difference in sustained fights. So why are tanks fun in Battlefield 6, right? Tanks are fun for 3 big reasons. 1, pressure. Rolling up to a consistent objective in a tank forces the enemies to react, right? And the gratifying 2, multi-role play. When not just killing infantry, you're controlling space, denying pushes, and supporting teammates. 3, the contrast is vulnerable versus power. You feel unstoppable 1 second and desperate the next, which creates the memorable moments, right? But the big beta experience, tanks can die too easily. In some situations, even other people on EA forums and Reddit forums have said many players report the tank's health and survivability feel undertuned. A few well-placed anti-tank rockets or sustained infantry explosions will bring down quicker than expected. That fragility undercuts some of the I'm a fortress fantasy tank should deliver. Other issues players flagged up: limited active defenses against guided missiles, occasionally oddities in turret sensitivity and balance between different tank models. Some feel noticeably better than others, like the heavy tank versus the light tank, for example. They are fixable, but they do matter. Tanks need to feel like a reward for playing them, not a liability. I have had this many times when you jump into a tank and you just get 3 or 4 anti-tank enemies come at you with rockets. They fire from all different angles. You can't react in time and you just get absolutely destroyed like instantly when you just spawn into a tank as well. Or you just get these snipers come along with some C4, 1 or 2 C4s, and boom, you're dead, right? And you can't even see them roll up on you either because so many people around you. But that is the game. So let's break it down. Right, let's go quick pros and cons. So the pros: the tank feels weighty, it's immersive, it feels the movement, the audio, and the visuals sell the tank fantasy, right? You definitely feel like you're in a tank. You feel like you are the tank, right? It's fun when coordinated, so great payloads for teamwork. This means infantry and tanks. I jump up on the back of a tank with a healer repair kit, tank repair kit class, and I literally just hang on the back of the tank. I literally just lay down behind a turret, and they're getting shot by 3 or 4 rockets at a time, and I'm just sitting there healing them, and they just instantly heal up to full health. This works really, really well, and actually forces the enemies to have to sort of run up to the tank and kill the people off the back of the tank before they can actually stop it from being healed. Otherwise the tank just literally meat grinds everyone. I got so many kills doing this when I have people just healing me when I'm a tank, or when I'm healing tanks and they're killing people, right? So the meaningful choices: you have the loadouts and the gadgets that change your playstyle. That means obviously you can be a tank healer or you can be a normal healer. The different choices are pretty good. The map interplay, so terrain, use terrain for cover and make positions important. It's not just raw gameplay, it's not just raw aim. You do have to sort of position your tank behind cover sometimes, especially if you're going against like planes and helicopters. They're a real pain in the arse to shoot down with a tank as well. And going behind cover helps a lot, right? So the cons are the health concerns and of how fragile the tank is. Tanks simply just die too fast to certain anti-vehicle setups right now. Basically, yeah, like I was saying a minute ago, just 3 or 4 characters that roll with, because you can have any class can have any gun, so you can run a normal gun with a anti-rocket setup, and you can just have, or anti-tank setup, sorry, and you can just absolutely shred tanks. If you have 3 or 4 of you, can just absolutely shred them. It is fun when coordinated though, so it is fun, right? So meaningful choices in this game: loadout and gadgets change the playstyle enough to matter, right? They do actually change the playstyle enough so you don't have so many cons, but also it does lead to cons as well, right? So there is defensive gaps. There's not enough consistent anti-missiles or APS options to counter all threats, especially with helicopters and stuff. Turret sensitivity and aim tuning, so this can feel inconsistent between servers and clients, especially if you have sharp precision aim with certain guns. Balance in this game feels rough. Some chassis feel objectively stronger, which you have the light and the heavy tanks, and the heavy tanks absolutely just steamroll the light tanks, right? They just absolutely steamroll. So if I was sending feedback to DICE, right, my feedback would be: give tanks a modest health bump or increase effective hit points by adjusting the damage curve against common anti-tank sources. Another option would be to expand active defenses, like make APS or reactive armor more widely available, or add cooldown based countermeasures so tanks aren't instantly deleted by a pair of rocketeers. Right now the gameplay loop pushes players to commit to driving tanks. Buffing health or survivability would restore the sense of reward and make coordinated play more viable, right? So in terms of tactical tips, I would say if you want to get better in your tanks during a beta, don't solo hold open objectives by yourself. Use buildings and terrain for cover. Stay near friendly engineers or teammates who can repair you fast. Use the machine gun to clear infantry quicker than using your main shots and wasting them. Keep moving. Do not stay stationary. That your stationary tank is a prime target for aeroplanes, Apache choppers, and anyone who can see you from miles away, right? With a grenade or anti-tank grenade. Always scan for lock indicators, right? These are threats, and these are, you can sort of, if you get behind cover quick enough, you can dodge these, right? Battlefield tanks are a role of 2 halves, right? So when they work they work with joy. They're heavy, thunderous, and tactically rich, but right now the balance makes them feel too easy to remove from the game, which hurts the long-term fantasy or being dominant battlefield force in the game. I'm optimistic the beta shows promise, and with some survivability tuning and defense options, these tanks could be a highlight of the full release. So, thanks for riding with me through the tanks of Battlefield 6 Open Beta. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe, and tell me more in the comments what loadout did you love, what needs fixing for you. I'll be digging into more vehicle guides and squad tips next, so don't miss it. I will be going and playing the next Open Beta when they release it. I think it's next weekend or so. Yeah, and if you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.